morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to a daily dose of joy. We are here to choose more elevated emotions, to choose joy by leveraging neuroscience and dosing our brain with microdosing habits throughout the day. Easy peasy, fun and easy. And this morning, we're going to use the Whoopsie Daisy tool. I've recently had some people tell me how this is in the warp and the weft of their lives now, and what a difference it makes that they come across things and they immediately have some reflexive, let me find the humor, where's the humor? And then when they find a little bit of it, and just laugh at some little thought, some little way of seeing it through a wonkier, different lens, that opens them up, softening their reaction to a wobbly situation. And so just want to keep encouraging y'all to play with this tool, to trust me that there is foundational science underneath it, and there is great joy from bringing it into your life, where you can more easily access the humor, the lighter view, the less reactive and engaging view to the wobbles that happen. And I wanted to reflect on wobbles. Somebody sent me a message that said, every time you say wobbles, I think of the old Weeble Wobble toys. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. And I just loved that. It had crossed my mind early on when I started using that phrase, but I'd kind of forgotten it. And when she brought it up, I just thought, oh, that's awesome. We're a bunch of Weeble toys, you know, shining bright and joyful, dynamic lives. And then sometimes there's a wobble. But having that certainty of knowing that we will come back into alignment, that's powerful. That is. So that when you're way over here, you're like, okay, this is uncomfortable, but you're not feeding it with, does that mean I'm going to keep going? And splat, no, you'll eventually right yourself, come back into alignment. And we're doing it in solidarity together. Whoop, woo. So today's Whoopsie Daisy stories are, sometimes I have to make myself kind of vulnerable. Well, being down at the farm, sometimes you don't get as many showers or do your hair days. So I'll use a dry shampoo. And especially getting up early in the morning, kind of get on camera, and I'm in brushing my hair, and I'm like, oh, we're getting a little dirty. So I'll use some dry shampoo. Well, I was down here and didn't have my normal dry shampoo, which is sort of the color of my hair. But there was some baby powder. So I was like, oh, I'll just put some of that. Like, I think I remember that from back in the day. That was our version of dry shampoo. Put some baby powder in there, absorb the oil, shake it out. So later that day, after trying that, a friend says, you look like Elvira. Because I had these two white streaks where I had taken the can and gone like this. I'd sort of shook it in and shook it out, but it had left like a residue of white streaks. And she was like, or like Pepe Le Pew, like little skunks, white streaks on my head. And I had gotten dressed early, kind of semi-darkness. I just hadn't really noticed. And it was pretty funny that I'd been walking around that day like Pepe Le Pew. It's just like, whoopsie daisy. And I'm sure I was on camera with it too. Like, oh well. It was pretty funny. Yes. All the little things we do that make life easier sometimes add a little wobble. It just cracked me up. When I looked in the mirror and saw these trails going down. Pepe Le Pew. That was a funny whoopsie daisy. Oh, and in some ways I really value whoopsie daisies around my appearance. because growing up as a girl, maybe growing up as a girl in the South, whatever, there was emphasis on appearing a certain way. And then, some old wiring that built in a lot of criticism and judgment around things. And a friend the other day told me, she said, I just realized from now on, and she's a beautiful, beautiful woman, modeled, she is beautiful. And she said, I try on clothes and just realized, oh, that's not me. It's the clothes. And she's like, think about it. You can try on 10 different things and they fit you totally differently. Well, if it's the clothes are great and something's wrong with me, well, what am I supposed to be? Play-Doh? Like, I'm supposed to be able to do this and that and this and that. I just thought it was so great. Like, oh, we're not supposed to be Play-Doh. It's not you. It's the clothes. Oh, let's wire that one in. That was a great little Whoopsie Daisy moment that she shined some light on, because she was talking about, just the, actually it wasn't really a Whoopsie Daisy because she had overcome it. I guess it was looking back on old Whoopsie Daisies in the past where she or we were both familiar with that little voice inside the ones, oh, I need to X, Y, or Z because this particular item doesn't fit and look fantastic. And then how wonderful to be able to laugh and giggle and go, oh, not me, it's the clothes. I just loved it. And then let's see, I have a Whoopsie Daisy I just heard my little fur baby. He's my puppy. Yeah, it's a cross between yodeling and like a very high soprano singer when he's ready to get up in the morning. So I will tell y'all this story a little quicker. We went down to the duck pond, he and I, and I wanted to help acclimatize him to the ducks. And so we started further away. We walked closer and closer, and he was doing great, sitting and laying down and staying calm. I'm just trying to help them interact so that we don't have one of those where a dog chases the ducks out into the middle of the pond every time you come down to the pond. And like they were like 3 feet away. He and I are sitting in the grass. Things are going well. I'm like, okay, well, I want him to feel like he can choose this. So I'm like, I begin to let go of him more and more and give him more freedom. And it's going really well. And then one of the biggest ducks, it was like 3 feet away. They're pretty comfortable because they're used to me feeding them. So, but he puts his wings up and just floof, floof, floof. And my dog does this kind of like back pedal. Like what was that? He trips over my leg. And then he's squirming. And the ducks are squirming. And all these feathers that had kind of been in the grass get like tossed into the air. It was like a little tornado of feathers. It was like, whoopsie daisy, I didn't anticipate that the duck might end up scaring the puppy, But whoopsie daisy, we regrouped, and we'll try again today. It was a nice way to just laugh at the effort rather than like, oh, I've made this effort for this to go well, and now it's not, That had a momentary like, whoa, reaction. Because of course everybody, the ducks, when he got upset with his tumbling, they got upset. It was like, and it was great to just turn it into Whoopsie Daisy, see the humor in it, and be like, oh, we'll try again tomorrow, So that's probably what he and I'll go out and do this morning after we have a good hike about. Let's take 3 gentle breaths in solidarity. May today surprise and delight us. I love this time together. Thank you for being here. Let's use our microdosing habits all throughout the day. Let's pause and continue to connect to relaxation and ease, peace and joy, laughter, even in a dynamic day with lots of activity. There's always these little micro moments we can use, even if it's only using a microdosing tool for 60 seconds or a minute and a half. Let's use them throughout the day. Stay connected to our true alignment, our inner being. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.